Adam Nip here with Pat Sobeski for another edition of Web Chat with the Mayor, always looking ahead at future council meetings. We've got one coming up this Thursday night. And Pat, the big issue continues to be the open-air burning bylaw, and as requested, the fire department has come up with 3 new options. And so take us through those options and just tell us what they are.
Well, the 3 options related to the cost, the fee that would be charged. But before we just talk about that, I think it's important to understand that the whole concept is built around the fire prevention. That's what the fire prevention officer's duty is. And one of the things that, as we've looked through what other municipalities are doing, Sault Ste. Marie, they've tied in that if you want an open air permit and they come out and visit the property, they also will inspect your smoke detectors inside to make sure you're compliant that way, which is really the whole emphasis around fire prevention. So if we're going to go out and visit the property, we might as well do a little bit more of an inspection. But it's come down to basically the fees was the main concern. Everyone accepts the if we're going to go out and do the permits. So the first option was a fee recovery, which over 3 years would have cost $105 over a 3-year period. That was what was proposed. The new proposal coming before council is option A, not to charge anything. Option B would be a fee of $45 for a 3-year permit, and that matches what Ottawa and Hamilton seem to be charging on an annual basis. And the third suggestion is pay a $75 fee. That's a lifetime fee. Your permit's good for 3 years. It has to be renewed, but you just pay the one time. So those are the 3 options that are coming before council. It gives them a little bit of a variety. Council could decide to even change those numbers. But again, the greater emphasis is again towards the fire prevention element.
Should we have open-air burning at all in Woodstock? That's not really been discussed, but I know it's something that the fire people think, well, you know, just try to eliminate risk that exists.
Well, again, that is an option that's available. And there's a delegation who was at the last meeting. Elma Hislop's coming forward again. Mm-hmm. And at the last meeting, she talked about how Guelph and Cambridge have a ban on open-air burning. And she's coming forward again as a delegation to speak a second time because she has new information about how the city of Waterloo has a ban on open-air burning. So that point of view will be expressed, and again, council will have to decide what option to take. If you don't have the open-air burn, then you're back to the fire code to control those that do have fires. So. We'll see what council decides. Okay,
very good. A new development coming in the city in terms of waste collection, electronic waste. We've got a proposal that's coming to council for a permanent depot on Thursday night.
Well, that's correct. Howard Dehan, the city engineer, he's approached Ontario Electronic Stewardship, and they're a nonprofit. But in essence, they will set up a depot, and so. Currently, right now, we have the one time a year weekend pickups where you have the 2-hour lineups, or you could drive to the county landfill in Salford, or some people go over to Ingersoll to the Fusion Center. What this proposal is to set up a permanent depot on the James Street yards, and so it's a way that people can drop off on a regular basis. It will help. With our waste diversification numbers, it'll even produce a small amount of revenue, maybe $3,000 or $4,000 a year. But the key element that city engineering wants to do is really increase the level of service for the drop-off of electronic waste.
All right, sounds good. And planning report coming to council. Looks like Scotiabank wants to expand at Springbank in Devonshire and add a drive-through at that location. My first question is there room to do that there?
Well, they are actually what they're going to do is they're going to actually build an extension on to the plaza right beside where the Bank of Nova Scotia is. So they're going to build a new branch that's about 5,000 square feet. So it's about 1,000 square feet bigger than their existing branch. They will put a drive-in, and there is enough room to put a drive-in through on the side, and then the Bank of Nova Scotia will relocate, and then their former branch will be repurposed into retail. But it does fit into that corner of the mall. It takes away about, I think it was 14 or 15 parking spots that are on the end. But even with the removal of those parking spots, there's still sufficient parking in that mall to service the mall.
Okay, very interesting. We'll look for those issues. I should also mention, Pat, the crematorium, a zone change coming up on that, as well as something to do with bodily fluids and taxi cabs. We'll have to watch out for more on that on Thursday night, right?
I think it'll be very interesting, yes.
All right. So once again, Adam Knipp and Pat Sobeski for Webchat with the Mayor. Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.